Hi guys, I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Welcome to Early Years Matters TV. On this channel, we focus on early childhood, we give parenting tips, and we also review toys. If these are the kind of things you're looking for, what you have to do, subscribe, and not just subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first person to be notified each time a new video is being dropped on this channel. So on today's episode of Early Years Matters TV, I'm going to be talking about how to teach diversity in your preschool classroom. Yes, today's discussion is going to be all about how you as the educator could teach diversity in your preschool classroom. If this is a video that you're looking for, ensure that you watch it to the end. Okay, so I would start by giving the definition of diversity. So what is diversity? Diversity are the different traits and characteristics that makes an individual unique. Yes, diversity is all about the different traits and characteristics that makes individual unique. So what are those characteristics? What are those traits? I'll cite few examples: age, color, background, ability, gender. These are the types of traits and characteristics that makes individual difference. As educator, it is your job to let children feel good about themselves, about their families, about their community. To understand that it is your job as educator to make children that attend your setting to feel good about themselves, about their families and the community. So that's why it's really important that you teach diversity in your curriculum. It is important that diversity should be part of your curriculum. All right. As educator, it is also important that you expose the children to differences. Yes, especially the ones that they are unfair to them. So it's also your role as educator to expose children to differences, especially the ones that are not familiar to them. So now let's talk about how you could teach diversity in your classroom. Okay, so the first way you could teach diversity in your classroom is during playtime, offer diverse of materials. Yes, during the playtime, when the children are playing, offer diverse types of materials such as doll, such as painting, such as puzzles, such as books, and many more that the children could play with. Yes, when you offer diverse materials during playtime, the children will have the opportunity to see difference. Yes, and they would choose which toy they would like to play with. So the first way you could teach diversity in your classroom is offer diverse of materials. Yes, when you offer the children diverse materials during playtime, they are definitely going to see that difference exists. For instance, if you offer them diverse toys, yes, they are going to see that, yes, the toys are different. And this is the way that they can know that differences actually exist. So it's important. The first way you could teach diversity in your classroom is offer diverse materials that the children will have the opportunity to choose from. Take note of this first way, all right? Okay, so the second way you could teach diversity in your classroom is engage the children in discussions on diversity. Yes, you need to understand that they are young children. We're talking about children from birth to 8 years. So you need to teach them about diversity. Like I often say on this channel, catch them young. That's the only way. You want to teach them about diversity. You want the children to learn about diversity. Then you need to engage in discussions about diversity. As an educator, do not shy away from discussing diversity with the children because the children need to know. So you could teach diversity in your classroom is engage the children in discussions on diversity. Yes, talk to them about diversity. For instance, talk to them about why children are different in terms of their skin color, even gender as well, like male and female. You could start this by explaining to the children why we have boys and girls in the classroom. These are the discussions that you need to engage on a daily basis with the children in your classroom. Do not shy away from it. So another way you could teach diversity in your classroom is engage the children in discussions on diversity. Take note of this second point as well. All right. Okay, so the third way you could teach diversity in your classroom is you could take it on further by hosting a multicultural day in your setting. Yes. If you want to teach children about diversity, you could expand more on this by organizing a multicultural day in your setting. Yes, a multicultural day, you engage in discussions with the parents as well that you're going to be having a multicultural day, that their children in their country attires. You could take it on further by having different foods that represent all the children in the room and give the children the opportunity to taste this food. But what I'm going to say is in relation to tasting, you need to be aware of allergies. Be aware of the children in your setting that are allergic to some types of food. So it's important. If you want to organize a multicultural day that will involve children tasting food, check out the allergies of the children in the setting. So if you know that there's a child or few of the children that react to a certain type of food, so during the tasting time, you would make sure that the children are not taste those food. So if you've ticked the box allergies and all the children in the setting are good to go, so you could organize a tasting day that involves children dressing in their country attire, okay, tasting foods that the children can taste the foods and engage the process as well. You need to understand that parents are the primary caregiver of their children, so you need to engage them in the process. If you want to organize a multicultural day, you're trying to promote diversity in your setting, so you need to engage the parents, seek for ideas, okay? So if you have few ideas, seek the opinion of the parents as well. What do they think? How can they take it on further? Because sometimes, parents might have ideas as well in relation to diversity, and also in relation to multicultural day as well. You could have languages that speak in the room. You could paste it around the world, music as well. So some parts of the countries as well have diverse events that they make sure the events are diverse, and you also need to make sure that the events of the day consideration of the children in the setting. We're talking about diversity here, so you need to make sure that if you're organizing a multicultural event, that it takes into consideration the children in the setting. Take note of this point as well. All right. You could teach diversity in your classroom is in the dramatic area. You could have different attires that represent different countries. Yes, in the dramatic area, also known as the play area. So you could have different attires that represent different countries and give the children to try them. Okay, you could have a British attire, Scottish attire, Canadian attire, African attire, different types of attire, okay? And put this in the dramatic or dress up area and let the children have the opportunity to try this attire, because when they try this attire, they are definitely going to see that diversity exists. And you also need to understand that early childhood, and you want to teach the children, it has to be in a fun way. You're teaching them triply. You want to teach the children about diversity in your classroom, you have to do this in a fun way. Take note of this point as well. All right. You could teach diversity in your classroom is expose the children to different languages. Yes, expose the children to different languages. Like for instance, in your classroom, have a general idea of the languages that the children in your classroom speak, and then you can expose all the children to these languages. It could start with a good morning, just a good morning in Irish, Diagwit. What is good morning in Africa, in Yoruba? What is good morning in different languages? And you could paste it on the wall in your classroom, and the children can see it, and then you can say these words and let the children repeat the words after you. So by teaching the children diversity, because the children are definitely going to learn about different languages apart from their languages. So you could also teach diversity in your classroom to this through as well. All right. Another way you could teach diversity in your classroom is read books on diversity with the children. Yes, read books on different abilities, different strengths, read books on cultural background, read books on different race, read books on dishes, read books on gender. When you read books, you're teaching the children about diversity. They are definitely going to see that diversity will exist. Important, we need to catch them young. We need to let the children about diversity from younger age. So lastly, you could use books to teach children about diversity. All right, so I hope you've taken note of all the points that I've listed so far in relation to how you could teach diversity in your classroom. And if you want more of this on this channel, what you have to do, subscribe, and not just subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first person to be notified each time a new video is being dropped on this channel. Until I come your way next time, stay safe and mind yourselves for now. Bye.